This could very well end up being the last Project Enfys video, which is crazy. I haven't filmed for a couple of days now just because what I have been doing has kind of been problem solving and prep work, and I really haven't done too much. But I will show you what I've gotten done today. So one of the things I worked on was this leg piece, which is what the blade is on. This is the first one. So I got the grommet attached in there that needs to be wood glued and painted, and then put the water line through the fabric. And then the next thing I did, which I might be continuing with tonight, is some of the teeth here. Some of them are actually directly attached to the greebles. And so I got all of the ones that need to be attached to those. And then I've started wrapping those. A lot of the wrapping I'm not going to be able to do until it's fully assembled, which is going to require the chest box done, the belt done, all of that stuff. But I can actually assemble these, so I've been doing that. Like I said, I might do more of those. And then the main thing I kind of did today was I was looking at figuring out how I'm fitting everything into the chest box, voice box thing. So I don't think I've actually showed this. This is a speaker, as you can see, that I've taken apart. And so basically what has to happen is this speaker is kind of going in this side, but you have the red light shining through here and the red light shining there. Where's the light? Here's the lights. So you've got one up like that and this other one like this. And of course, the speaker takes up the majority of this section. So that's gonna have to like cross over and be out of the way, and yeah, that was kind of complicated to figure out. And then the other thing I had to figure out was how to attach this piece to me. So what's going to happen is that we're going to be making I attached Velcro to the four sides, and we're going to be like attaching pieces that attach to the belt, and then it's going to have like a pocket to hold out the speaker, put the phone in, and all of that kind of stuff. You will see once it's finished, because I'm sure that's not making any sense. But yes, I have some work to do on this tomorrow. What else? I think that's pretty much all that I've gotten done. I did spray a few things that I'm not sure if I showed you. I got the knee pad finished, sprayed that, sprayed those leg blades, dyed the wig, which I have to work on. It's really stiff right now, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to redo that or not. Oh, the other thing I got done was I templated my arm. So you wrap your body part in saran wrap, like plastic wrap, and use masking tape, and it gives you a cast of your body part. So in this case, my forearm. And then as you can see, it's got a middle mark and then kind of rough marks around the edge. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to be doing something with that. It is like nighttime now. So this is kind of, I think, going to be a project for tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to do tonight is finally finish painting these bone pieces, which just seem to be continuously getting forgotten. So you saw me draw up the template for the chest box hooks, as well as the clips for the tabards. So I'm actually going to cut those out now. I brought some Warbler in so that I can cut them inside. I also completely finished these bone pieces. They're just sitting here because I haven't sprayed them yet. And I also coated the first layer, or the first side of these side pieces, the grommets on those. So the other side isn't wood glued yet. Yes, so right now I'm going to work out cutting a whole bunch of these up. I probably want these double layered, so I'll need 4 of those, and I also might do double layer of those. So we'll see. Alright, so here are the 4 tabler clips. There's another piece that I'm going to build outside tomorrow, so they're not completely finished. And then these are the 2 chest box clips that I'm going to install outside tomorrow as well. So I'm headed to bed and I will see you in the morning. So I've already done quite a bit of work today. The first thing I did was I got these end caps for the tabard tubes sculpted. I need to put lines on those still, so I'm going to be doing that next. I got these clips assembled and then I put 2 layers of wood glue on them already. And then I also got the chest box hooks onto that. Spray primed that, as well as attached the bone pieces. So that is how that is looking. The next thing I'm going to be having to do with this is figure out kind of the interior fittings, just to make sure everything is in there secure and nothing. Like, one of the issues is that the light shines through these grate parts, so I'm going to need to put, that's what this piece is for, is to stop the light shining through. So yes, first thing though is putting the lines in those. So it is quite a lot later now, and I figured I would show you what I've gotten done in between when I last talked to you. So the first thing was that I fully painted the chest box, so that's all done now and ready to be painted. I did also install the lights in the back. Here, I'll connect the battery. So basically they had to be warbled pretty well because the light was seeping through the grates. So you got the light there and then the light in the front. I'm not going to install the speaker just yet. I think I'm going to spray this first and then put the speaker in because I'm gluing it into this. But yes, that is the finished chest box, voice box thing. And then I also got the clips for the tabards painted, as well as the ends. And I also put the lines in the ends. So that's what those look like. And then I got the grommets all painted as well. So all of that stuff needs to get sprayed before I glue it and continue on with anything. I also did the template for the gloves, but I don't have that. I might work on the gloves tonight, but what I'm going to be doing first is working on these shoes. So I already did the other one. It's not in this room. I will show you later. But here is the second one. So you haven't seen these shoes in like 2 months because I put the lines on, and then obviously my mom created this slip cover thing to go over it. So the buckles are on it. I need to glue those in place as well. These are 3D printed too. Again, just kind of like, oh, I can buy it, then that's going to save me some time. Yes, so basically I am gluing the bottom down to get this like slip cover over it, as well as gluing the buckles in place. And there is the finished assembled shoe. Yes, like I said, I already did the other one. I still need to put the greebles on the side of this, although I need to figure out how I'm going to securely attach those, but that's going to be a project for tomorrow. So I will see you in the morning. Alright, so the main thing, other than kind of spraying and prepping a whole bunch of armor and stuff that I talked about yesterday, I think, I've been working on trying to figure out how I'm attaching these greeble-y things to the sides of the shoes. So these basically go right here. So this is what we're working with. So we've got some wire wrapped around the actual 3D printed greeble, and then a bar, because that's what the shoes have, and then these two parts of wire go into these holes that I drilled into the sides of the shoe. And so that's all constructed. There are the two of them here. And so now I'm going to prime these in some matte Mod Podge and start painting them. Alright, so I got the paint on these plate things as well as the foot or the shoe greebles, so they are all done. I haven't decided whether I'm going to bother spraying those or not, so they might just get assembled onto the shoes. And then I did film painting the knuckles of the gloves, but I also attached these patches. And then I also finally got the tape off of these side leg things and then glued on the side leg blades. So that is what those look like. And what I think I'm finally going to do now is clean off the desk a bit. That's why I might do those, just so I can get the shoes off the desk. Clean off the desk so that I have space here so that I can finally start painting the vambraces. So it's now Saturday. I didn't film anything yesterday because I really wasn't doing too much. I mainly spent all day in like costume fittings and figuring the fabric portion of things out with my mom. But the one thing I did do yesterday was, and I don't think I showed you this before because I've mainly been working in the studio and these have been elsewhere, was I cut out and also yesterday got the leather portion of the vambraces dyed. So dyed those yesterday, dyed the belting that needs to go with those yesterday as well. I do need to seal them. I just brought them in to make sure that they were the right color because the lighting isn't great in the garage. But yeah, also I did a bit more work on the vambraces, but not too much. So that's kind of mainly what I'm working on today, other than sealing those up so they're good to go, and then at some point I'm going to be assembling the belting and that, and yeah. But just thought I would show you the leather portion of the underneath. So these are getting attached to these, which you will see how they're getting attached once I actually have the belting on these, because there's going to be lots of hardware going in between the two things. But yes, that is what is up so far today. It's quite a few hours later now. The top part of the vambraces is now all good and painted. As you can see, they're all red and scuffed up and everything. And I mainly spent the afternoon building these belt details. So this is kind of like a belt buckle thing, and then this is a very complex box. This has a light in it, that's why it's taped up, and then this thing has like a magnet and it opens up and the 9-volt goes in there. So they have their first layer of wood glue on them, so they're drying. And what I'm actually going to do now is reassemble the blades to the aluminum flat pieces before I paint the blades, because there's like a stripe that lines up along them. So I need to reassemble them before I paint that. It is the next day, and as you can see, I got the blades reattached, and then I have the stripe put on. And the first panic / realization of the day was that the other fan, as you can see, it has a lovely sanded stripe across it. The other fan actually has the colors reversed. So this one isn't quite finished yet. So this one has a green stripe and red splatter on the top. This side has a red stripe and green splatter at the top. You literally only ever see this one in any pictures, and it's kind of a miracle that I caught it, and it's mainly thanks to a Disney figure, as usual. But yes, so sanded the green off of that one because I, of course, did that at the same time as this one last night. So sanded the green off, so I'm going to repaint that kind of area, the gray, and then put the red stripe that it should have on it. So here are the two finished van braces. I have already sprayed these, they're just kind of laying out and drying right now, so that is what they are looking at like. I also got the belt details all finished, primed, and painted, so they're just sitting out and drying as well. And what I'm going to do now is actually put the hair mass in the helmet and then trim the hair outside probably. So I'll most likely show you once that's finished because it's going to be a lot of mess and hair. Nighttime now. I did get the hairpiece cut and I will show you that tomorrow when it's light outside, because you're not going to see it now. What I did get done already is I got the necklace portion all strung up, so that's what that looks like. It doesn't kind of really follow the rest of the necklace like design. This is the part that's kind of on the cape. I'm sure you'll see it's on like the piece that attaches to the cape. But what I'm going to do now is actually, because I now have the chest box all finished, I know the measurements for this, and so I'm going to build this piece. So this is like a piece of, well, I'm going to make it waterline that has wire in it that keeps this curved shape. So I'm going to figure out that kind of thing and then put the wire in it and probably prime it to start painting it. So as I'm sure you can tell, it is the next day and there's been quite a jump in progress. So as you can see, the necklace is basically completely finished. The only thing that isn't on it is these have beads on them, but they're not going on right away. But yes, so this whole part here is a waterline that has wire in it, and then there are teeth like wrapped around it and stuck into it, and then you have the greebles with the teeth, and then more waterline separated teeth there. And then I also just spent like 2+ hours wrapping all of the teeth up. So yes, that is the finished necklace, other than it needs to be attached to the chest box and of course have the other beads on it. But yeah, I'm going to go out and spray this now so that it can be attached to the rest of the costume. So it has been quite a while since I last updated you, vlogged, whatever. I really have no idea what the last thing I filmed was. I probably should have looked back and seen what that was. But it's just been kind of nutso around here. I've been like in and out of fittings and tweaking things with my mom, trying to figure out belts and placements for all the different electronics and stuff. And I am literally on the pretty much last thing I need to do, other than getting the van braces built, which I will explain this more in a second. Literally, other than doing that, I need to glue the clips on the tabblers, and then dirty up the belts, and then it's done, which is crazy. So the other thing I did do that I know I haven't shown you is I recurled this lovely wig. So the plan obviously is that I have my helmet, but I am planning on hopefully getting this approved by the Rebel Legion, and one of those things, of course, would be working with charities and stuff, and I figured I basically wanted to have the whole costume because I figured if I was doing any work with the different events, like with kids or anything for different charities, the helmet might freak some of the younger people out, so having the option to be helmetless with the costume was going to be a good one. So the wig is all recurled. This entire thing took me 6 hours. Oh boy. Yes, I don't think I have, like, even when I had really long hair, it never took me 6 hours to curl my hair. But yeah, it's all curled, it looks great, it was absolutely painful to get all finished, but that is done and sitting there. It doesn't have its, like, twist tie, like the tie-up that it's going to need. That's just kind of a temporary one to pull it back so I could see what it looked like. Anyway, rambling. Back to the van braces. So as you can see, I have one, like, this isn't actually on. These have been interesting because this is really, really thick leather. So getting any of the holes punched through and the rivets on has been interesting. But the other thing that was a problem is I ran out of my belting, so then had to go cut some out of the piece of leather that I had, and of course then had to re-dye it, so that was a delay in the plan. So I have those now, and they are going to be the front ones, so now I can start figuring out how on earth this is going to go. But yes, these ones are pretty, well, they don't have the holes in them for the buckles, and they don't have their ends cut. But they do have the double rivets on the side. This one needs to be drilled through still, and another thing is going on there to keep it in place. But yes, looking good so far, even though I cut myself really badly already. And other problems, but from now, hopefully it will be smooth sailing. This is it. Today is the final day of Project Enfys work, which is slightly insane to me. So, the first thing that I realized I never showed you is I got both leather van braces on. I also dirtied up all of the hardware on them and got the ends cut, holes on, all of that test fitted, and that's great. This is my collar thing for the cape that is needing to be distressed. And then in here, basically the only thing I have left to do other than distressing the actual outfit is I have one more side of the clips to glue on. This is my belt. It is all of the belts. They're attached to each other. And then distress this side. As you can see, this side is nice and dirty. I also dirtied up the shoes in the same way, so they're looking great. Got my hair tie on my wig. And yes, it is the last day of Project Enfys. It is after the photo shoot now. I just threw the wig back on, but I'm all changed out of everything. And I just wanted to really pop on the end here to say thank you for watching these Project Enfys videos. I know it kind of took over my summer, so thank you for watching them and commenting and cheering me on while I tried to build this crazy project. So without further ado, here is the final costume.